Hello everyone and welcome to Time to Fly Drone and AI Tutorials. In the next few weeks I'll be posting a series of videos going over a full-on drone build from start to finish. I'll be using the Pixhawk 4 flight controller and S500 quadcopter frame. In this video I'll give a quick overview of all of the parts of this series as well as all of the components required to build this frame. Now let's get started with the Pixhawk 4 S500 drone build. Now I'm going to give a quick overview of this entire series and basically the direction I'm trying to go with this project. So this is video 1, part 1. This is the overview video, giving an overview of the series as well as all of the parts and components required to actually build this drone. In part 2, that will be the assembly video. I'm going to show you how to assemble the S500 frame as well as all of the electronics. In part 3, we'll be looking at the Q ground control software. This software allows us to configure the Pixhawk flight controller. So it allows us to select which frame we're using, which is a quadcopter in the X configuration. It'll allow us to calibrate our ESCs and motors and also add any additional sensors that we want to use. In part 4, this will be the autonomous mission planning. So with Q ground control, our ground control station, we can plan missions by setting different waypoints for our drone and our flight controller to follow. So this is the intended schedule for the series. I'm planning on releasing a video every week. Hopefully that doesn't change too much. Kind of depends when some of the parts I've ordered come in. And that is hopefully a really good overview of the series. Now let's take a look at all of the parts and tools that will be required to build this drone. So as far as the tools go, these really depend on the frame you're using, if you're using the S500 frame or a different frame, as well as the motors you're using and the mounts required, and how you're going to be connecting your ESCs to your power source. So for the S500 drone frame, it only really requires a simple hex set, usually 2 and 2.5 millimeters should do, as well as a small Phillips head screwdriver to connect all components. I'll also be needing a larger Phillips head screwdriver to connect my motors to the frame using those screws. Another thing to keep in mind is that these ESCs will need to be soldered to a power distribution board. Some ESCs have these bolt connectors on both ends, so if you have that, you should just be able to plug it in. However, for this power distribution board that comes with the Pixhawk and my ESCs, I will have to solder these to the distribution board so that we get our power and ground as well as our signal wire. And just like any other ESC, we have our 3 outputs, which will connect to our motor using these bolt connectors. The main component of our drone is the Pixhawk 4 flight controller. This particular kit, of course, comes with the flight controller. It also comes with a GPS module and a power management board. I'll be using this power management board or power distribution board instead of the one that comes with the S500 frame, simply because it's a little better in connecting with the Pixhawk 4 in terms of powering it and controlling all of the ESCs. So it's a little bit more compatible when using it with the Pixhawk. As far as the frame, I've got the S500 quadcopter frame, as well as these 10-inch propellers. Make sure you have clockwise and counterclockwise propellers. And make sure you also have a bunch of spares, because if you crash and one breaks, you don't want to be flying with that. As already mentioned, we've got 30 amp ESCs. These will receive a control signal from our flight controller, then feed into our motors. For the motors, I've got these 4 1000 kV brushless motors. The reason that the kV is so low is that we're dealing with a medium to large size quadcopter frame, and because we have larger propellers, we desire higher torque instead of RPM. So that's why we have higher kV, so that we have more volts instead of amps. I'll post a link to a really neat article to understand this if you're a little confused on that. With my motors, I also have my mounting bracket. I won't be using it because the frame does a good job of mounting these motors. I've also got some little adapters to hold the propeller in place, as well as the screws to mount it to the frame. And as far as batteries go, I've got 2200 milliamp batteries. I'm going to see how long these last in terms of time of flight. I may look into getting some larger ones just to get some longer duration flights. But these are the ones I'll be using initially to test out. In order to charge your batteries, you'll need a balance charger. I'm using this Turnigy 2-cell and 3-cell LiPo battery charger. It's like really cheap, $10, $15 charger, and it does the job really nicely. You can see it can charge a 2-cell battery in this port or a 3-cell battery. And one thing with this battery charger is that it did not come with the appropriate wall mount or the wall kind of the cable. So I did have to go ahead and find one myself. This is a simple barrel jack connector that outputs 12 volts. So it's a really simple charger, really cheap. You can only charge one battery at a time, which is kind of a downside, but for its price, it's really good. I've also got a battery alarm. So the Pixhawk 4 does come with some kind of battery alarm functionality. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but as a backup, I will be having my kind of standard battery alarm as an indicator to tell me and let me know when my battery voltage of my batteries is running low, so I don't just kind of come falling out of the sky. So those are the main components required for actually building the quadcopter. This will get your quadcopter up and running. You don't really need anything else. Of course, there is a lot of functionality you can add to this drone, and why not take advantage of that? So one of the exciting things I guess I'll be adding to it that I've really been looking forward to is adding my GoPro camera to it. It was a little bit too large to add to my original racing quadcopter. I couldn't really find a good place to mount it, so I'm excited to mount it on this larger frame. It is going to be using just a simple static mount that I'll be hanging upside down to get some nice aerial shots, but a second iteration of this drone will hopefully I'll be able to add a gimbal instead so I can actually pan the camera and move it around. I'll also be looking to add a FPV camera so that I get a nice view of what the quadcopter is seeing so that I can monitor it on a screen I have down with me. Another thing is telemetry. Telemetry will allow me to see basically the status of the Pixhawk, the status of our flight controller, our quadcopter, and also the location with the GPS module. This will be super useful in just monitoring how our quadcopter is doing and kind of getting some cool live stats as well. Another thing that you may be wondering if you've flown a quadcopter before is how exactly are we going to control it if all we have is this flight controller? Well, the neat thing about the Pixhawk is that it's fully autonomous. We don't need any manual control in order to fly this thing, which is really neat, but also maybe something that you would still like to have. With the Pixhawk, you still have the capability of a manual transmitter and a receiver. I do have a Spectrum pair of a transmitter and receiver. However, they're not capable with the Pixhawk. So I will be trying to do some research on getting a better pair that is compatible, and hopefully I can show that to you all in a later video. But as of now, you just need the Pixhawk to take off, and with a ground control station called Q Ground Control, we'll actually be able to set in missions and paths for it to follow. So that would be really neat. That wraps up part 1 of my Pixhawk 4 S500 drone build series. Hopefully you all really enjoyed this video and got a good feel of all of the components required to build this drone. If you have any questions or suggestions for this video regarding parts or logistics of the series, make sure to drop those in the comments below. Also, subscribe to my channel so that you get notified for when part 2, electronics and frame assembly, gets released. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for part 2.